Okay.
We don't want you to have dirty souls and come and inflate prices in the system or come and undercut people. Let us all do business with good money. So the real estate sector, we want people to go into the real estate sector with genuine money.
Yeah.
We want to know where they are getting their sources of funds from, how they are getting the money and buying the plots, how they are buying the building materials and putting up that structure.
Right.
And operating in a very transparent manner where they send their reports and all that to the real estate agency. And the first thing that the law, the Act 1047 requires is a license from them.
Okay.
Because you would agree with me that this sector has operated for a very long time without legislation. You
Well,
know,
yeah.
various groups of people have come together to try and regularize it. But REAC has come with the full force of law behind it to regulate the space.
Okay.
So we are helping them to check the sources of funds people have before they enter into that
The sector. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Emmanuel, tell me how a company or an organization can get by, get land, build, and all of that without a license. How does that happen? Can you walk us through a practical experience? How does that happen?
Well, I think when it comes to the buildings, and that space is under the assemblies.
Okay.
They have to go for permits from the assemblies. We are supposed to regulate the real estate space. And when I say regulations, I have to go strictly by my mandate. So one of the things I have to do as a regulator is to ensure that we pick up all the data. And what I mean by the data, it means that we have to make sure that across the country, everybody in the real estate space is captured, which is very good for our projections. Also, I have to make sure that I collaborate with FIC in terms of ensuring that Ghana is not the conduit for anti-money laundering and also going into tourism financing is very key for us. We also have to ensure that we have an ADR unit where when people have issues with purchasing and all that, you report to us. So clearly my mandate is stipulated. I'm not supposed to go beyond my mandate.
Okay. All right,
so with your questions, it goes clearly into the space of the assemblies. And what we're doing now is we are collaborating with Parliament and the other related bodies to push our ally to ensure that all the developers are regulated strongly to ensure that there's strong regulating space in the country.
Okay. Right. Okay. So REAC in together with FIC.
Right.
So you guys are aiming to sanitize the real estate industry here in Ghana, isn't it? So how are we going to be going about this? Are we going to be bulldozing our way through Ghana? What's the process going to be like? It's the manual valuation regulation. What's that piece?
Mutual.
Give us. Yes.
So
you take that, Lucy.
It's called a mutual evaluation. So within the anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism space,
Mutual.
between every 5 and 9 years, every country on this earth is subjected to an assessment. So the assessment is to evaluate the policies we have, the laws we have, the institutions we have. How are we all coming together to fight the offense of money laundering and terrorism financing? And this assessment is called mutual because it's being done by our peers around the continent. And it is instituted by the global body called the Financial Action Task Force, FATF for short. The headquarters is in France, but then they work through regional bodies to address issues in every country. So Ghana is under the GIABA, which is the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa.
Right.
So that is the West Africa regional body working with all West African countries to ensure that we implement recommendations and standards from the Financial Action Task Force. So GIABA is partnering with FATF to assess Ghana. And this is our third assessment as a country. We've had our first assessment. Unfortunately, that one landed us on a blacklist.
Okay, tell us about that, please.
Landed us on a blacklist because we had a lot of strategic deficiencies as a country. We didn't have a lot of laws. We had not criminalized a lot of things. The real estate sector had no regulation, and we were working with the associations that existed. But there was no proper structure to regulate that space. When you take our NGO space, which some call it non-for-profit, we had thousands of them operating in Ghana, but there was no oversight responsibility over that space, looking at where they are getting their money, what they are using it for. And even if when they source the money, they tell their financiers, we are going to do this, are they actually using it for that? That is very important. In that time, 2012, we had nothing.
It was zero.
Nothing. So we failed. We woefully failed, and we were on the blacklist. And those who recall the effect of blacklist is very dire. Very, very dire. We are cut off the international world. We can't go there to source for funds. We can't move $1 from this country outside our shores without having been subjected to intense scrutiny. Then we went for another assessment, 2016, 2017. We did a little well. We moved from blacklist and we went on a grey list because we still had a lot of things.
For progress, right?
We still had a lot of things we had not put in place. In fact, at that point, we were still having the REAC law as a bill in Parliament. And as we speak, the NPO still has a bill in Parliament. It still has not been passed. But there's been a lot of progress in that. So that is the second assessment. Now we are due for a third assessment. And we started this process sometime 2023. We started that with a national risk assessment, where we looked at the entire country. Where are our vulnerabilities when it comes to people having dirty money and maneuvering and entering any sector? So for our space now, we are talking about the real estate. So this assessment has gone through a lot of phases, and come 26th January this year, as we speak, that is just 2 weeks away, a team of assessors are coming to Ghana. And they are going to talk to everybody, including the real estate sector. Jeffrey, you and REAC, what have you done in the space? We remember in the second evaluation, you didn't have a law. You have a law now. What have you done with the law? How many people have you registered? How many transactions have come to you? How many complaints have come to you? What have you done with it? This is the aspect where we call the effectiveness of the systems that we have. The assessment is going to stand on 2 pillars. The first pillar is the technical assessment, and then the second leg is the effectiveness. The technical is, Ghana, do you have an institution dedicated to fighting money laundering? We tick. Yes, we have it. What is it called? It's called the FIC. You've done well. Do you have an institution looking at the real estate sector? Yes, we do. It's REAC. Where are they? They are at Cantonment. You'll find them there. They have a CEO. They have a set of staff. That is the technical aspect. Effectiveness. FIC. With all the intelligence that comes to you, what is the results? The information you give to law enforcement, how has it churned out successfully into prosecution, conviction, and asset recovery? We need to prove that. They come to REAC. How many have you registered? There is no excuse that, I just came to office. No. Jeffrey has no luxury.
Got to show results.
He has to show results. What have you done? Show us. The name of the game is evidence.
That's it.
So we've been running around since 2023, and we are wrapping up in the next few weeks. And come 26th, we will meet the team of assessors.
They'll mark us.
And then we show working.
You have a coy smile that sort of says that you're optimistic that this time we're going to move up.
Well, you can tell from our progress since time immemorial that we are making progress. We've put in a lot. And we believe that these efforts would lead us to a very fruitful and successful.
We'll be here for it. After the assessment, you two have to come back here and tell us how it went. That's in 2 weeks. That's on the 26th of January, isn't it? Okay. So, Emmanuel, you tell us, how optimistic are you? Is REAC going to let us get that mark?
Well, I think REAC has been very strong now. Our regulatory framework, and in terms of my support from the ministry and the government, has been enormous. And what we're doing is to make sure that all transactions from the real estate space in terms of agents and brokers are reported. We've done a very strong registration as well, so we have some very good numbers that we're going to show to the people. We've also issued a lot of licenses as well, which shows that we're actually working. So clearly we have to make sure that we report our compliance as well to FIC, ensure that you do not transact with cash in the real estate space is key. We're monitoring all that. Another thing we're doing is to ensure that unethical behaviors are things that we have to control and make sure that investor confidence is in. So we are taking the box and making sure that from the president and to everybody in Ghana, we want to assure everybody that we're working very hard to make sure that that space is clean. And so the perception that there's a lot of money laundering here is going to be our past, because we're actually working with FIC, IOCO, and other agencies to ensure that people report their transactions, and we ask questions about your source of funding and everything. And we are coming after everybody who is doing business that cannot give evidence of his source of wealth. So I feel that real estate agency, in collaboration with FIC and the rest of the agencies, are working very hard to ensure that Ghana is very transparent and accountable to that space.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you so much. And we'll be here after the 26th of January to hear what the results are. We are keeping our fingers crossed. Thank you for the good work you're doing. Lucy Abebrese is Head of Compliance at FIC Financial Intelligence Center. And Emmanuel Jeffrey is the CEO of REAC, the Real Estate Agency Council. And they have been our guests telling us about the mutual evaluation that's happening on the 26th of January, where Lucy is telling us she sees Ghana moving up. Thank you so much. If you missed parts of this conversation, is on our Facebook and our YouTube. You can catch it again. Thank you for staying with us. Have a great Tuesday and enjoy your day. Thank you so much for coming. I love